I have autism, and it really is not an easy thing to manage. I have gone through my whole life dealing with this disability, and so many people would not know what it is to difficult and how it is to deal with. Academic wise, it's hard to deal with it on so many levels, and with the test, I've had to really deal with certain things and retaking it so many times throughout these 3 years. Growing up, having autism throughout the school years, I've been teased and bullied, and starting out with elementary school, I went through a private school and it wasn't really easy. None of my classmates really understood me, so they teased me and bullied me, and at one point I had to repeat the 4th grade. And then when I got into the 5th grade, the 5th grade teacher didn't really understand me much, and so from that point I got in trouble for something, and I got into the 6th grade, and then my mom had to beg that teacher to get into her classroom, and after I graduated from there, it was unfortunate that I got into public school, and once I got into public school, it got really worse, and when it got really worse, and I got into 7th grade, I got teased, I got bullied, and it just really was bad. None of them really knew I had autism, and I had a hard time with academics. I didn't really know math much, so it was hard. So this is where I went to middle school, and yeah, I was bullied, and had to be transferred into a special ed class, and they helped me get through 8th grade, and then I graduated into 9th grade. When I got through the 7th grade, it was really hard and tough. My mom pushed really hard to get me into the 8th grade, where I got into special needs class of 8th grade. And from there, the teachers, they helped me out and to get through things. And it was easy for me because with tests, I got through to getting through things easily. And from there, I got through it easily, and then I successfully graduated with a presidential award. And also, I got into City Year Young Heroes with volunteering for other people. So that was an awesome achievement. That's where I got into volunteering and community service. So I really loved doing that. And once I got into high school, it really didn't change much. So I really, it was really hard. So it didn't change much. As I got into the 9th grade, I got into different schools. Like the first school, I went through Independence High School, but they're like, you can't come back here. And so I then got into another school, which was Foothill High School, and I didn't even last a week. And so I then got into Leadership Public School, which I then successfully got into. And so I lasted a whole year, but I had mental challenges. And so once the year ended for 9th grade, they were like, you can't come back here. And I was really drained, but I got to meet this counselor, and that was really cool. And I got to meet teachers there too, which was really amazing. They helped me get through academics, even though it was really hard. You know, I really wish I could have gotten through those 4 years of that leadership public charter school, but they wouldn't let me go back, so it was unfortunate. So I then had to go on to another high school in 10th grade. So that was the start of me going into Mount Pleasant High School, where things still didn't get better. As I got into the 10th grade, I ended up getting a one-on-one aide because I got into a special part of the high school where people with challenges were there. But it was still a regular high school. I really, you know, I struggled mentally. I wasn't really quite there as a teenager. You know, I met different teachers there, but I then got through counseling once again, and I went through the Cardinal Success Center in 10th grade, where I met my first social worker there, and she helped me get through things. And then also met another counselor there, where she introduced me to horseback riding. And I met other social workers there too, who helped me too. I folded brochures there, and you know, they really liked my artwork, and they still remember me. I still get in contact with them to this day. But again, at the end of the year, 10th grade, the principal was like, you can't come back here because you can't handle things mentally, and you're not able to handle things with other students. So that was the end of that. I was bummed out that I couldn't, you know, hang out with the people at CSC and meet new people again. So that sucked. I then got into the 11th grade, which was a special needs high school, which was Second Start High School. Which was Second Start Pine Hill School. I really didn't want to go there at first. I just really didn't like it because there were people I just was hesitant in meeting. So I ended up on one side where there was people who had challenges mentally. I was there for 2 whole weeks, or more than 2 weeks, and then I met that first therapist there. She asked me a bunch of questions, and it was determined that I wasn't fit to be on that side of the campus, so I was transferred onto the other side of the campus where it was for people with autism. And so you know, I was like, I really don't want to be there. I don't want to. So I was stuck there. So I then met new people there, and then the teachers are like, okay, you have to do this work, and you're assigned to this group. And then that's where I met my first love of my life too, at that high school, on that side of the school. So I'm happy with that. But You know, I I just was hesitant, and I struggled throughout the 10th and 11th. I not 10th, but I struggled throughout 11th and 12th grade there at the school, and it was really hard. That's when I also got my first job there at the school, outside of the school. I started up at California's Great America, and so that was really awesome. They helped me get that job. This right there was the school that all the teachers helped me get through, including the 2 therapists and my one-on-one. And I have to thank all the former teachers who were there and just helped me get through everything. So I have to thank them. And this year is where I went to 11th and 12th grade. The 2 therapists helped me out back in 2007 to 2008, and I graduated in 2009. So that was pretty amazing. So yeah, that's awesome. Anyway, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, there's the office at Second Start Pine Hill. So that's awesome. This right here is where I went to school, Pine Hill, 11th and 12th grade, Second Start Pine Hill, and the teachers helped me out, and let's see here. At the school, Second Start Pine Hill School, I went through many challenges. I ended up having many medical problems where I had to go to the hospital, but hey, it really sucked. But academically, I struggled. The therapist, she was like, you need to focus on your schoolwork in order to get through things, but hey, I was like, whatever, man. And so I I got sidetracked many times, and but by 12th grade, I just kept getting sidetracked, not focused, and the one-on-one, she had to get me to focus more. I had to like write things down, and she had to take me out on walks so I would feel better instead of getting angry, because still as a teenager I just wasn't quite there, and so it was really hard and tough, and so the everyone there helped me, so it wasn't easy in high school, so I just struggled, but then at the end of 12th grade, then came the California High School exit exam, and this was the third time I had to take it because I failed the math part and I struggle with math, and so they had to help me out, and then I failed again, so I had to take it one more time, which was the 4th time, and that time around they had to help me get through it, and I passed, and then but I struggled with this because the therapist that has been helping me get through things, she left the school, and so the therapist that took over, she helped me get through things the rest of the way through 12th grade, and she just helped me keep things focused and everything, so I'm happy with that. and the teachers. I'm really grateful that they helped me get through things too. And I'm so surprised I got through economics. I mean, I'm not good with things like that, but I'm really surprised. But I finally graduated in 2009, and so I'm really grateful for that. After I got out of high school, I I I decided, this was my time to just shine and look throughout many colleges, because I was really interested with film, because I loved watching movies. I loved watching the special effects and all the action in it. And after I graduated, many colleges were interested in me, and a lot of them sent me brochures through the mail, and the Los Angeles Film School was one of them. And so I was like, I got interested in it right away, and that was in 2018. So I called them up and was like, what kind of degree programs do you guys have? And they told me these different ones, and then I chose digital filmmaking. And I applied, and then soon after I dropped out because it was too expensive. And so I waited 2 years later to apply again. And when 2020 came, I just didn't really understand things, and they dropped me out again, and so I didn't want to do it again. I just really didn't, and so I decided, maybe I need this. I want to get into Hollywood. I want to become that next filmmaker. This is my dream. This is my moment to shine. So I decided to apply again in the month of June. And so I then applied. They called me up. They said I needed to do a few steps. So that's when I did everything. I had to call up my former high school that I graduated from in 2009. And to my surprise, my former math teacher called me up and said that he would send me a copy of my high school diploma, and that is what got me in. But I also got applied to financial aid, and so I'm really grateful for that to this day. And so I just really I just made the decision, and then that's when I started up, and that's when everything started. And I got a letter of recommendation from my former chiropractor, and then I got a scholarship into the school in the first month of July, and that's when I started, July 2020. I thought, I don't know if this is going to be easy. I didn't make it the last time around, so I really don't know. And so when I started in July, the school put me on academic probation, so I didn't really know if I could make it. I decided to make the decision to get into the Los Angeles Film School in the month of July 2020. And I had to get a letter of recommendation from a coach or a counselor. So I called up my former chiropractor, who I've known since I was 9 years old, and he got me in with a letter of recommendation. And then I had to call up my former high school that I graduated from in 2009, and I, to my surprise, my former high school math teacher called me up on the phone, and he said he'd send me a copy of my high school diploma. And then from that point on, I got accepted into the film school, and then I had to also apply to financial aid, and from there I got accepted into the school. However, prior to the 2 attempts, I got into the Los Angeles Film School. When I started up in month 1, they put me on academic probation. I started up with month 1 on academic probation, which was digital literacy. I thought, this would be really difficult. I don't really know if I could get into this. I don't know if I could pass, because the last time around in 2020, I really didn't understand anything, and I didn't really get that far. But this time around, I communicated with a professor, and I got through all 4 weeks, and I passed by with a B-, and I was really shocked. I thought I wouldn't make it. But I got into month 2, which was behavioral science. That month, I knew I would be able to get past that month, so I got by with an A+ in behavioral science. I doubted myself that I wouldn't go on throughout the first year of film school. I thought, I don't think I'm gonna make this. I don't think I'm gonna make it throughout freshman year, throughout these classes. But to my surprise, I got on to month 3, which was independent filmmaking, where I learned how to learn how to do adapt with the iPad, and learn how to use it, how to shoot with films on it and everything like that. So that was okay. I was fine with it. I thought, oh, maybe I could film a film with it, but I was disappointed. So that was okay. I got on to month 4, which was Introduction to Filmmaking. That class wasn't really my best. We had to learn how to shoot a 1 minute video, and then edit it. And editing was my weak spot in film school at the start of everything. And so the professor was like, here, I'll give you a shot at redoing everything. And there's the test there too, which I really didn't like. I really sucked at the test. I thought, not these tests, I really hate them. So I really did not like that, and so I got by with a C in Introduction to Filmmaking, and then when I got onto Editing 1, that's when I really struggled. I had to learn how to edit my projects, and I had to go back and redo everything multiple times. and then the sound part of it, I had to do it, but then I had to take a pass fail because I sucked at it. I then got onto screenwriting 1. I thought, oh hey, this is my shot at like learning how to write really well, because I really am great at writing, but it wasn't like that. I had to learn like the beginning, middle, end, and the plot line to things, and so that was disappointing. I had to like learn how to write like a screenplay, so I didn't really get by with a great grade. I was disappointed, so it really wasn't my great subject in film school either. But at least I learned something new in that class. And then I got onto another writing class, which was Foundations of Writing. I sailed through it really easily, so I got a great grade in that class, so it was really amazing. I was happy with that. But there were the tests again, which I struggled with, but I knew that there was going to be tests all throughout film school, so I would struggle with that. But then I then got onto the hard class, which was digital production design. I really struggled with that because it was where we had to learn how to do Photoshop. I kept struggling with it. We did tests and everything, and we really had to learn to do shapes and everything in Photoshop. So I was like, by the end of week 4, I didn't do well, and so I had to take a pass fail, so that really sucked. I then got my second tech kit around Introduction to Cinematography, which was month 9. I was really happy with this because I received 18 boxes here at my house, where I got a camera tech kit, which was a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera 4K. I received audio gear. I received lighting gear, and it was all the cool stuff, so I was happy. But I got into Introduction to Cinematography, where I learned how to like set up all my tech kit gear, how to like learn how to do the camera and everything like that, so that was okay. I got through with an okay grade, so it was alright. I was fine with it, so it was okay. It was an interesting class. But anyway, when I got to the month of April, I still was really struggling with things, but I had to keep pushing through. And so when I got into digital audio production 1, I still was struggling with things mentally. I wasn't really doing well. It was really hard. I wasn't really feeling well all the time. But I still had to get through the class and learn how to do my audio gear, record things with the recorder, and do sound effects and everything. So I got through it with an okay grade, so that was fine. It was cool. I then got onto contemporary art, and I wasn't really interested with this class, but there were still the tests. I'm not sure, I can't really remember. There's some classes where there were tests, there were some that there weren't any tests. So, but this class, you know, you had to learn about art and everything. So, but I got through it okay. And then I went on to location scouting in August of 2021. And, you know, I got through it really well because in that class we learned, like, if we were ever to go on a film set, we had to, like, scout locations if we were ever gonna do a film shoot. So I got through it really well. And then when I got into the month of September 2021, it was directing one. This class here, I thought, hey, you know, maybe I could do this. I could get a shot at this. I got by in directing one with a grade of a 86.13. With the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, I decided to do some projects outside of film school, and the first three, I shot 3 short films. And they weren't really great at first. I hired some crew, but they were freelance. It was non-paid, and so they agreed to, like, help out with my films. And so, you know, once everything was finished and everything, I was happy they helped out, and that was really awesome. So that was cool. But those are the first 3 short films that I got through doing outside of film school. Getting back to film school, I got onto color correction and grading, which was one of my most weakest classes. I ended up having to take a pass-fail because I really sucked at that class. So got onto cultural studies. You know, this was an interesting class, but I got into creative communication, which was one of my strongest subjects because I learned how to communicate with people. I learned, like, I guess how to do social skills, but I sailed through it really well, and so I passed that class. And then I got on to the next class in February, which was screenwriting 2 again, where I had to write up my own script, which was the first pre-Capstone class. So I decided this is a chance, and using one of the screenplays that I wrote back in 2021. So I used that, and the professor was like, okay, you need to edit it out a bit and fix this. So by the end of the class, I didn't get by with a great grade again. So she was like, in feedback, she was like, you need to fix everything with this. So with that, I got through okay. And on to the next class, which was producing. I learned about budgeting and everything. and that was in March 2022. And I got through okay. And then came directing 2. I got through it really well. It was really great. I learned how to direct things, and so I forgot to mention that I shot my first 5-day film shoot in directing 2 class, which was also a pre-capstone class. It was a huge success because it was my first 5-day film shoot with a big cast and crew. I got to work with 10 cast and 8 crew on this film. The film was called Son and Father Relationship. And then came June 2022. Our last month of junior year, digital audio production 2. I struggled with this one. I didn't even know how to do anything, so the professor helped me. She was like, you have to do some of this on your own, so I did. And then came digital marketing and distribution in senior year. This here is a video I shot in the pre-capstone classes.
Son, do you know why you're here?
No, Dad, I don't. Why am I here?
You're here because you got another F in Spanish.
Hey, I promise to do better. The teacher's tough on me. I'm not that great at Spanish. I'm gonna do
You've
better.
been saying that for the past month. Okay, look, if you don't improve your grades, you're off the lacrosse team. I'm sick of dealing with it.
In that class, you learn how to distribute your film at a film festival if you ever want to do that. I already knew how because I've been submitting my short films to film festivals, so and then came innovative and immersive art and writing 2 classes at once in August of 2022. With these 2 classes, I came down with COVID, so I got really sick. The school, they gave me an extension on these classes instead of me dropping out, so I was happy with that. I then finally got onto my capstone classes. I got onto my first capstone class, which was capstone film development, where I had to write up either a narrative or a documentary. So I decided to write up a narrative, but then that one got canned, and so I decided to go for a documentary where I decided to write up about my 3-year experience in film school. So she was like, okay, you need a lot of work on this and editing it and everything. So I again struggled with that class, and I got through with a B minus, so that was okay. And then I went on to Capstone Film Pre-Production 1. There's a bunch of documents we had to fill out. I struggled at first with it, but then I got the hang of it and it passed through really good. And then I got into Capstone Film Pre-Production 2, and it was documents again we had to fill out. I got through really well with that class. Got on to the class that I'm currently in right now, which is Capstone Film Production, where I'm filming my graduation project. After I finish up with this, I have 2 classes left, which is month 36 and month 37. After that, my last and final class is July 2023. That's it. I'm set to graduate August 6th, 2023 from the Los Angeles Film School. I go to graduate at the Los Angeles Film School August 31st.